Hi Lovelies, this is a video about how it's hard to make friends in Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta, I was 24 to 25, 24, 25 years old or whatever. And I moved there and I've always been a loner. You know, I've had my friends, but I've only had like one or two good friends, a few acquaintances. I've never been the popular girl. I've never had a bunch of friends. So when I got there, I only knew my cousins and my cousins had kids. And I actually knew one girl I had went to college with, and I wouldn't say we were exceptionally close. Like, we knew each other, we were cool with each other, but we weren't like best buddies. So she had been down in Atlanta for a couple of years, so she had her group of friends, and it seemed like she didn't really want me to infiltrate that friend group. So I took the note, because she wouldn't invite me to everything. She'd only invite me to a few things or whatever, and I could tell they were going out a lot. So what happened was I decided that I was going to have fun, friend or not. Like, I came down to Atlanta to have a good time, not to be a wallflower, not to sit at home. Shit, I could do that in Boston. So I just would listen to the radio and I would hear, oh, it's going down at Jaguars. Oh, it's going down at One Tweezy. Oh, it's going down at Kaya. And I would get on Yahoo Directions, because this was before your cell phone had a GPS, and I had a GPS in my car, you know, the standalone, and I would be off, right? Because I didn't have a job for like the first 3 months, 2 months I was there. I was looking for a job. So I went to everything, and I went by myself, and I had a good ass time. I didn't drink, which was good, because you never want to be out of sorts in a place where you're by yourself, or in a place where you really could, you know, get taken advantage of or whatever. And I feel clubs or those places. I always parked in the parking lot, meaning I never found some janky side street to park. I would always pay for premium parking in lit areas, you know, that people are be walking like in groups when it's time to leave or whatever. Like Kaya, there was a parking lot across the street. It was $20. Even if I was paying $20 to get in a club, I paid $20 for that parking just for safety reasons, because, you know, I'm in a new city. This ain't my city. This ain't my hood. And I want to be safe and I want to make it home. So also another rule was I leave with nobody in the club, and I don't want to hang with any chick that leaves with somebody in the club. I never want someone's mother to call me and be like, why did you let my daughter go? Now, if you go home and you leave up and meet up with some crazy or some dude or someone you just met, that's fine. But I can't hang with girls or women who will meet someone at a club and leave. It would just hurt my soul if something happened to them. So if you came with us, you leave with us. What you do after that, that's on you. Then I can look your mother in the face and say I did all I could do. So I went to a lot of clubs by myself for several years. It's so funny. I met dudes online, but my first boyfriend in Atlanta I met on MARTA, which is their public transportation system. I was going to work, and this dude, oh my God, he was so fine. He was 6'4", he was basketball player, lanky. He was just handsome beyond handsome. And he was listening to his Walkman, just ignoring the hell out of me. And I was like, I was so confident at this point. I had lost 100 pounds like before I moved to Atlanta. I had kept it off for a year. So I was like, I'm getting his number before I get off this train. And I asked him, that was my like key question, what time is it? Purposely don't wear a watch. And he was like, oh, it's this. And then he continued to talk to me. So that's my end. Like, if he continues to talk to you, it's like he could possibly like you. So then we end up talking, and then we get to our stop. And he was like, well, let me get your number. And I gave him my number before he didn't give me his. And he's like, well, why can't I have your number? He's like, well, I'm living with my sister. And he said all this. And I thought he was lying. The lady sitting next to me thought he was lying. She laughed. And then I was like, whatever. So then I forgot about it for like several weeks. And then he called me. I didn't remember who the hell this person was. My cousin's like, oh, so-and-so called you. I'm like, who? Or whatever. And so we ended up talking that night, and from that night on we were like inseparable. We moved in with each other 3 weeks later, and I think we lasted a whole 4 or 5 months before I kicked him out and I was off on my own. But after him, I didn't really have any friends. Like, I had that one girl from college, and then I bought my townhouse and moved to a separate part of town. Like it wasn't far from where I was living. And I met people in my subdivision, a few neighbors, and then I met this girl at Gold's Gym. There was a Gold's Gym like 5 minutes away. This was when I was trying to lose some freaking weight because I had gained weight by this point. And but I went at night and she went during the day. So what had happened was I went on a Saturday and she just happened to be there. She was working out and she was not a small fry. So I was like, girl, you working it, girl, you know. And we get to talking. And it's so funny because I had got my eyebrows waxed and I am allergic to wax. And I had all these bumps and shit like on my eyes. And she later told me, she was like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, is she contagious? You know? So she lived down the street from me like 5 minutes, and she invited me to a Memorial Day party, like some party she was having at her house. So I go to the party, and after that, we were inseparable. We were like the best of friends, and she's still my friend now. She came to visit me here, and I visited her when I went to Atlanta, whatever. And we used to hit every freaking club in Atlanta. And then her friends would come because she had more female friends than me. And along the way, I met people at work because I had several different jobs. But the thing is, it was hard to break into a friend zone in Atlanta because everybody is so cliquey, like very cliquey. It's hard to break the barrier. At least it was hard for me, and I've heard it's harder for other people. You can really get down there, and if you're not the social type to meet people or meet new people, it's not like being in high school or college. It's almost like you have to make that extra effort to meet people, and not everybody's willing to let you in their circle. You would think that, oh, I meet a new person. No, that's not how it works. Like, it definitely took me 2 to 3 years to get friends, like to have my own friends. And I'm still friends with most of them to this day, but it definitely was not easy or simple. It was kind of random. Like most of the people I met at jobs, and we're still friends to this day, but my girl that I met, hey Katrina, at the Gold's Gym, she really became my road dog, and the people that were there when Ava was born, but that was at a job. But that was just the key to it. I don't feel it's easy. You really have to have the personality to meet people. And if you don't, it can be very difficult. I know my cousin made friends easy because a friend of his from college friend was in Atlanta. He introduced them, and that was like his way into their little friend zone. And then he had a friend he introduced, like that's it was almost like you needed to know somebody to get in, and that's not how I met any of my friends. I didn't really know anybody. Also noticed that the guys were 10 times more friendly than the females. So when I started the job, like the guys were so friendly and they would invite me to all types of things, but the women were not so friendly, and they wouldn't invite me anywhere. It really took a long time to warm up to some of these women at the jobs I worked. But that's just my experience. Like, comment, subscribe. How about that?
Autism, I'm strong. Do anything for her, baby. You know that it's so amazing. Yeah. Autism, I'm strong. Every day, autism, I'm strong. Boston, what up?